The proof of Diddy's gay parties. When I tried to leak the proof, Diddy threatened to kill me. I also have video.
The allegations swirling around Sean Diddy, Combs, and Bishop T.D. Jakes, as shared by Gene Deal, a former bodyguard and close confidant of Diddy, have sent shockwaves through the entertainment and religious communities. These claims, rooted in Deal's first-hand accounts, paint a disturbing picture of secret gatherings, illicit behavior, and a carefully curated public image that may be on the verge of collapse. According to Deal, the events that transpired at Diddy's exclusive parties, attended by high-profile figures, including Jakes, reveal a hidden world of debauchery, manipulation, and potential blackmail. This narrative, if proven true, threatens to dismantle the legacies of two influential figures: Diddy, a music mogul known for his business acumen and lavish lifestyle, and Jakes, a revered mega-preacher whose sermons have inspired millions. The story, as told by Deal, is not just a celebrity scandal but a potential bombshell that could reshape public perceptions of power, faith, and morality. Gene Deal, who spent years by Diddy's side, claims to have witnessed events that contradict the public personas of both men. He describes Diddy's parties as far more than glamorous social gatherings. They were, in his words, arenas of excess where boundaries were pushed and moral lines were blurred. These events, often held in upscale venues like the Hamptons or Los Angeles, attracted A-list celebrities, industry insiders, and, shockingly, religious figures like T.D. Jakes. According to Deal, Jakes was not merely a bystander at these gatherings, but an active participant in activities that starkly contrasted with his public image as a spiritual leader. Deal's accounts suggest that Jakes, known for his eloquent sermons and moral authority, engaged in behavior that would shock his followers, including alleged involvement in same-sex encounters and other illicit acts. These claims, if substantiated, could unravel the carefully constructed reputation Jakes has built over decades. The allegations don't stop at mere attendance. Deal asserts that Diddy recorded these events, capturing compromising moments on video and audio as a form of leverage or insurance. These recordings, described as a ticking time bomb, reportedly include footage of Jakes engaging in behavior that would devastate his standing as a spiritual icon. Deal's narrative paints Diddy as a calculated figure who documented his parties not just for posterity, but as a means of control, ensuring that those in his orbit remained loyal or silent. The existence of such recordings, if revealed in court, could have catastrophic consequences for Jakes, potentially ending his career and tarnishing his legacy as a beacon of faith. The timing of these revelations is critical. Diddy is currently embroiled in multiple legal battles, including lawsuits from former associates and ex-partner Cassie Ventura, who has accused him of abuse and other serious misconduct. One significant lawsuit, filed by former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, not only targets Diddy, but also mentions Jakes in connection to efforts to mitigate the fallout from Ventura's claims. According to the lawsuit, Diddy sought Jakes' influence to soften the public's perception of his legal troubles, leveraging their relationship to bolster his image. This association, even if indirect, has raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about Jakes' deeper involvement in Diddy's world. The mention of Jakes in a federal lawsuit has intensified scrutiny, with many questioning how a pastor of his stature could be linked to such a controversial figure. Deal's accounts add fuel to the fire, suggesting that Jakes' presence at Diddy's parties was not a one-off but part of a pattern. He describes scenes of extravagance and moral ambiguity, where drugs, alcohol, and sexual activities, both heterosexual and homosexual, were commonplace. According to Deal, these events evolved over time, becoming increasingly brazen as attendees grew comfortable with their surroundings. What began as discreet encounters in private rooms reportedly spilled into more open displays of behavior that would shock outsiders. Jakes, Deal claims, was not merely observing but participating, a stark departure from the image of a man who has counseled presidents and inspired millions through his ministry at the Potter's House. The implications of these allegations are profound. Jakes has built an empire on his reputation as a moral and spiritual authority. His sermons, books, and media appearances have made him a household name, particularly within the Black community, where his influence is unparalleled. The idea that he could be involved in activities so contrary to his public teachings threatens to undermine not just his personal legacy, but the trust of his followers. Deal's claims suggest a double life, one where Jakes preached righteousness from the pulpit while engaging in or tolerating behavior that would be deemed sinful by his own standards. This dichotomy, if proven, could lead to a crisis of faith for those who have looked to Jakes for guidance. The recent announcement of Jakes' departure from his leadership role at the Potter's House has only intensified speculation. While Jakes framed his exit as a natural transition, passing the baton to a new generation, Deal and others suggest it was anything but voluntary. Insiders claim that church leaders, aware of the potential scandal, pushed for Jakes' swift exit to protect the institution's reputation. The timing, coinciding with Diddy's legal troubles and the emergence of Deal's allegations, raises questions about whether Jakes was forced out to distance the Potter's House from the brewing controversy. The church, a cornerstone of contemporary black spirituality, faces the challenge of maintaining its credibility in the face of such explosive claims. Deal's credibility as a whistleblower stems from his proximity to Diddy. As a former bodyguard, he was not just an observer but a trusted member of Diddy's inner circle, privy to the inner workings of his world. His accounts are detailed and specific, describing moments like hearing compromising sounds through closed doors and witnessing the use of spiked champagne to incapacitate guests. These details lend weight to his claims, making them harder to dismiss as mere gossip. Deal's decision to come forward appears motivated by a desire to expose what he sees as hypocrisy, particularly in Jakes' case. He frames his revelations as a moral stand, arguing that the truth must come to light, regardless of the consequences. The legal context adds another layer of complexity. Diddy's ongoing trial, coupled with the mounting evidence from witnesses like Cassie and others, has put him under intense scrutiny. Deal suggests that Diddy, feeling the pressure, may use his recordings as a bargaining chip, potentially implicating Jakes to deflect attention from his own misdeeds. This strategy, if true, could turn the trial into a spectacle, with Jakes' reputation hanging in the balance. The idea of a music mogul and a mega preacher entangled in such a scandal is unprecedented, drawing parallels to other high-profile controversies but surpassing them in scope and impact. The public's reaction has been mixed, with some dismissing Deal's claims as unverified rumors and others seeing them as a credible exposé of hidden truths. Social media platforms, particularly X, have been abuzz with discussions, with users analyzing every detail of the allegations. Some express shock and disappointment, while others defend Jakes, arguing that his presence at Diddy's parties could have been for legitimate reasons, such as outreach or ministry. However, Deal's vivid descriptions of the events, complete with allegations of recorded evidence, make it difficult to ignore the possibility of a darker reality. The role of the recordings cannot be overstated. If they exist and are as incriminating as Deal claims, they could serve as the linchpin in this unfolding drama. Diddy's history of documenting his events is well known, and the idea that he kept such recordings as leverage is plausible given his reputation as a shrewd businessman. For Jakes, the stakes are existential. A single video or audio clip showing him in a compromising position could undo decades of work, from his sermons to his charitable efforts. The fallout would extend beyond Jakes himself, potentially affecting the Potter's House and its millions of followers. The broader implications of this scandal touch on themes of power, celebrity, and accountability. Both Diddy and Jakes have operated at the pinnacle of their respective fields, wielding influence that transcends their industries. Their alleged connection reveals how closely intertwined the worlds of entertainment and religion can be, often to the detriment of transparency. The idea that a pastor could be drawn into the orbit of a figure like Diddy raises questions about the temptations of fame and the compromises made in pursuit of influence. As the trial progresses, the focus will likely shift to the evidence itself. Cassie's testimony, combined with Deal's accounts and any potential recordings, could create a perfect storm for both Diddy and Jakes. The legal system will play a crucial role in determining the truth, but the court of public opinion is already rendering its verdict. For Jakes, the challenge is not just to clear his name, but to preserve the trust of those who have seen him as a moral compass. For Diddy, the goal is survival, even if it means dragging others down with him.